Alright, back with another Q&A. Catching me in the recovery zone, so to speak. Got a couple questions in that kind of follow along with what I do, and so I'm going to get to those first. First one is from Mary, and she asked, what has been your biggest challenge with fitness? I think that there's so much misinformation out there that a lot of it is finding out what is really true and what is just someone trying to sell you a product or an idea. There's so much information, so much information, magazines, books, and not all of it is true, or not all of it is applied correctly. Even people that should have the knowledge a lot of times don't, or they don't understand what knowledge they do have and how to implement it correctly. So I made a lot of mistakes when I started out doing things incorrectly, movements, what I thought would promote the most progress the fastest. And even now today, a large portion of what is going on here is due to muscle imbalances that were caused by incorrect ways of training. Now, there's a lot of information out there, and so it's good to read all of it, and when you start reading all of it, you'll see different viewpoints, different ideas, and you'll begin to understand an overall concept of what fitness, health, and everything is. In my last video I said that I thought that everybody should do a mixture of aerobic and anaerobic, and you're not going to find everybody agree with that, but the clinical research behind it points more in that direction than any of the others. There's studies that come out that show weightlifting's dangerous, or that running is dangerous, and anything taken to an extreme can be. So my biggest challenge with fitness is it wasn't ever going, it wasn't sticking with it, it was just finding out what was the best way for me to train. And so you're never going to hear me talk negative about a program or a workout or something. It just may not always be the best way, but if it gets you doing something, then that's a positive. Now, on that, it's up to you to move at your own pace and do a little research on your own and find out that, are there things that I could be doing in this program that could lead to these imbalances, that could cause issues later on down the road, and what can I do now to stop this? And so that's kind of my biggest challenge, is finding out what works, but also what is going to be achieve the best health at the end. A lot of the things that are out now don't achieve the best health per se. They might give you the body you always wanted, but if they wreck your metabolism in the process, that's not healthy. So next question is, have I had to gain or lose weight, and what has been tougher? Well, both, and in different ways. When I graduated high school, I only weighed 117 pounds at 5'5". So I'm now 5'7" and right about 200 pounds. And I've been as heavy as 230. So I was not naturally a big kid or a big person at all. And so to gain that much weight, to put on that kind of muscle, and there were times I would eat till I made myself sick, get up, walk away from the table, and then come back in 10 minutes and finish the meal. Now, you have to understand too that this was done as a competitive athlete, or if you want to call powerlifting an athletic sport, but it was done with a specific intent and purpose in mind. I wanted to grow bigger, and to do that, you have to eat. That is the biggest thing. People come to me all the time complaining about how they can't gain weight, and they eat so much food. Well, you have to eat a lot. and it simply becomes calories in, calories out after a while to gain a considerable amount of muscle mass. Now on the other side of that, I did gain quite a bit of fat. So now that I have moved, not necessarily away from powerlifting, but put my focus more on competitive strongman, there's some weight classes that fit my size a lot better than the 200 plus classes. So I've been dropping weight to compete in those classes. And while it was very difficult, the ability to gain size always also let me in on the secrets on how to lose weight. You know, it's food. You have to be in a calorie deficit. You know, certain foods are going to cause you to retain more weight than others. You know, there's actually been a study out there that points to certain foods being harder to lose weight on than others. So, you know, it's tough either way. It really is. If you're a small guy and you try to put on size, it's going to be hard. If you're a bigger person and you're trying to lose weight, it's going to be hard. And I find both to be equally as hard, because to eat enough to gain the weight, I mean, I had to take a lot of insulin, a lot of insulin. And then on the other side of it, to lose the weight, I had to drastically reduce the amount of insulin I was using. So, you know, either way, diet dictates. You know, the training has really never changed from when I was trying to gain or lose weight. I do the same movements, the same reps, you know, hopefully the same weight most of the time, but it all comes down to diet. You either are eating to gain, eating to maintain, or eating to lose. And you have to understand that your body always wants to stay where it is. And so to lose weight, you have to put it in a deficit and then stimulate it so that your metabolism doesn't slow down. So I would say, John, that they're equally challenging. Some people are going to find it easier to lose weight, while others find it easier to gain weight, and vice versa. So, well, that's it for this video. I'm going to break these into smaller ones, so if I didn't get to your question in this one, be looking for other videos that I'm going to upload. And once again, thanks for the questions, and I hope this got the answers you needed.